is a well-known rapper.
Tia Ewing live in Michigan and with what we know tonight. Tia.
Well, you guys are absolutely right. The person that was shot and killed is a well-known rapper. We are not releasing his name. That's because the Cook County Medical Examiner has not released that name just yet. All of this happened at around 4:37 in the evening. It was broad daylight. It took place right in front of the DOJ.
Rest in peace.
As you can see right now, they are standing up because clearly bullets shattered
FGB
his glass there. Now, what we do know
From the
is
south side to the Gold Coast, your story lives on.
3 weeks ago, he put out a video of his dead.
Born in the shine, 93 was on race. Where the sun don't shine for too many days. Mama held it down, tried to keep him in the house. But the streets kept calling, whispering loud.
Dreams in his head, but the block was a stage. Writing every pain in the bars on a page. From the ciphers on the corner to the city spotlight. Doug had a voice that would cut through the night.
He was sliding through the pain.
Yo,
trying
hey
to make
Brian,
a way
welcome,
from the
welcome.
block to the fame. In the drill's cold day, but the war don't sleep. And the hate don't fade. FBG, Doug, your name won't decay.
Hit him with slide, whole world took a glance. Didn't change up, still repping where he stands. Fame couldn't pull him from the place he was made. Even when the game turned love into shade. Enemies watching every move on the ground. But Doug moved solid, 10 toes in the sand. Then came August, the sun high in the sky. Gold Coast air, but the danger was nearby.
He was sliding through the pain, trying to make a way from the block to the fame. In the drill's cold day, but the war don't sleep. And the hate don't fade. FBG, Doug, your name won't decay.
From the block to the charts, but the beef stayed deep. Every win that he made came with nights no sleep. Try to tell his truth,
Hey, Doc.
put his heart on the track. But the city that raised him
You
kept
wanna know what I'm
pulling him back.
Now the candles light corners
See that?
where his name gets praised. And the
ain't never
streets
been this
still
high.
echo every song
And my
he
motherfucking
made.
lights got
From the
my
hood
first night at
to the
13.
night,
Oh,
his
let's
story
go.
gon' ride. Like the wind in the shine through the summertime vibe. Federal cases, headlines in the news. But his legacy's more than the wars he knew. Call him weekly, forever in the song. In the heart of the shy, your spirit lives strong. He was sliding through the pain, trying to make a way from the block to the fame. In the drill's cold day, but the war don't sleep. And the hate don't fade. FBG Doug, your name won't decay. Yeah. Long live FBG Doug. Your story's in the streets and now it's in the song.
I am sorry that hip-hop is a graveyard salute.
He was sliding through the pain.
Trying to make a way from the block to the fame. In the drill's cold day, but the war don't sleep. And the hate don't fade. FBG Doug.
He was sliding through the pain.
Rest in peace, FGB.
FBG Doug, your name won't decay. Long live FBG Doug. Your story's in the streets and now
It's in a song.
it's in the song.
I'm sorry that hip-hop is a graveyard salute.
So yeah, we have been learning, I don't know, but for the past 4 months, 5 months, or even greater than that, that hip hop is a graveyard indeed. It's just Duck's story is such a sad story, right? I wish that I can even do it any justice. Starting out with his mother. His mother has experienced so much loss. She had 10 children and she lost 5 of her out of 10 children.
Wow.
She lost 2 of her adult sons, which I still look at them as kids, to gun violence due to crime in Chicago, gangs in Chicago. But it's not only, this problem's not only in Chicago, it it affects every state in the United States. But it's just the war that went on, and it was I think it went from 2012. It's in the story. I can't remember everything off the top of my head, but we'll get into that part. But just how these young kids had to jump off the porch. Jumping off the porch is basically choosing to either you're going to stay inside or you're going to be able to come outside, and you have to join a gang to be able to come outside. And you click up with other, kids and, adults that are unfortunate, that wasn't given a lot of chances or a lot of opportunities in life. And then, you know how the United States does Black people, all the way back to Pac, when he was talking about, when he was trying, to make us woke, right? To make the Black race woke. They stopped that from happening. It's the same thing they're doing today. It's the same stuff. They're putting us in low income housing and putting us all into one neighborhood, like basically redlining, right? And then like feeding us little crumbs to where we can't make it. So we having to create other ways to make it in society, in this world. And it's just a downward trickle effect. So I don't really judge these kids the way that I think that some may judge them. And I'm not here to judge them. I'm not here to judge them at all. I don't know how their home was, or how their, even their parents' home, or it just goes up, and up, right? We don't know how hard the school was. We don't know what was going on in their minds. We don't know the choices that they had. We know nothing. We are outsiders looking in. But I used to be an insider, though. Honestly, I grew up in that type of environment. God has blessed me to come out. Sometimes you don't come out, and it's so many of these children out there. And I don't care if you're in your 20s, you're still a kid. You're still a kid to me, because I'm 50 years old. You're still a kid to me. So again, I made Duck 2 songs. I wrote him 2 songographies, basically, because I just felt like that what happened to him, and it was like in broad daylight in a rich neighborhood, that the ops, the opponents, it's like they set this up like a video game, and they even call the ops, the opponents, the other gangs, the opposing gang members, ops. It's just what happened to him. He was out shopping for his kid's birthday. He was trying to get his son a birthday gift. And O Block, and I'm going to say O Block because it's no longer alleged, because they were convicted of this crime, did a drive-by, I drive up, hop out, pow, 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 this man in broad daylight in front of all type of witnesses. Don't know why they thought that they would ever get away with something like this, but they thought they would. And of course they didn't. They're all, sitting behind bars waiting to be sentenced this month. Some will be sentenced next month. And then we have some that are going to be sentenced in November, and I think 1 or 2 in December. Now, do you guys know who King Von is? O Block.
Yeah, he's on.
Right. So allegedly, well, Von's not here. So, and I wasn't at the trial, but he has something to do with the setup. Little Durk allegedly has something to do, with the setup. And now look where Little Durk is. He's in federal prison himself for allegedly putting a hit out on somebody else. For get back for the taking out of King Von. We'll get to that story one day, but I felt like Duck's story was appropriate for this time, for this season, because these people that took his life are getting ready to be handed their fate. Which is a life for a life, honestly. So let's get back into it. We're going to listen to the second song songography, guys. Guys, I don't write songs. I write songographies. I wanted to explain that. I think I kind of explained that in Jag's Live the other day. I write songographies, which is mini biographies in song form. The music is composed by AI, but the words are not, and neither is the research. All right, so let's get back to it. Right, Yvonne.
August 4, 2020, a different type of story. Gold Coast, Chicago turned gory. Luxury shops, the sun in the sky. 2 cars pull up where the rich folks buy. 4 men jump out, let the guns reply. Target a dad just trying to get by. Buying a gift for his son's birthday. 16 shots left him bleeding on the pathway. A rapper with gold left dead on the street. How you get gunned down to this violent beat? The answer's insane, it's the life in his rhymes. Trapped in the war, Chicago crime. Yo, Carlton Weekly, Southside, that's the low end in grandma's house with 15 of his kin. Dad in the pen had to grow up too fast. A self-proclaimed bad kid built to last. Reppin' St. Lawrence, that's where he got the name. STL crew destined for the fame and the flame. Followed his brother FGB, brick to the block. Gangsta disciple put his life on the shot. In the 2011, the drill city rough. FGB duck drops, ain't no corrupt. Gang got the cookie and bad. Just trying to get by. No time to be working with his head. Took just 15 shots, left him bleeding on the pathway. A rapper with gold on the dead on the street. How you get gunned down to this violent beat? The answer's the same, it's the life in his rhyme. Trapped in the war, Chicago crime. Yo, Carlton Weekly, Southside, that's the low end in grandma's house with 15 of his kids. Dad in the pen had to grow up too fast. A self-proclaimed bad kid built to last. Reppin' St. Lawrence, that's where he got the name. STL crew destined for the fame and the flame. Followed his brother FBG, brick to the block. Gangsta disciple put his life on the clock. In the 2011, the drill city rock. FBG duck drops, ain't no corrupt. Fly boy gang, that's the clique he embraced. To build GE, there's no time to be waiting. His man took just 15, got slain. Kicked off a wall, whole world of pain. On the dead soul block of beef sealed by fate. His music got savage, filled with the hate. In year 17, another soul got sick. His own brother break murder left him big. Like dropped in this to their class. A diss to the ops, the response was Jurassic. Millions abused, the whole world went wild. Gotta deal with Sonny and success he compiled. The record went gold, but fame ain't no shield. This trace of war declaration for real. He was savage on whole block of lyrics that hit, so they put him on top of their tongue. King Von hit back, this is dead by their name. Pouring on music, to kill a flame. But duck with the script drop, Chicago legend, show respect for the game. Trying to make a man, said he wanted maturity, a better example to set. Looks like the beef might be finished and yet. Months later, dead bitches, a full 180 spin. This an old block dead, said I'm doing it again. Back to that day, August, on Oak Street, shopping for a son. A woman so sweet, that track slide dropped. And Mr. Dead class, a disty ain't shots of a tragic creation. Millions of views, he dead at the dock. The whole city Sonny, a success he compiles. They beat him with gold, so fame ain't no jail. This track's a war declaration for real. He was savage on whole block, the lyrics that hit, so they put him on trial. Control they play, King Von hit back, no dead by their name. Mandatory life sentences, taking a flame. And ducks on long, Chicago legend, show respect for the day. Saving the labels, and aiming the profit for violence. Put a bounty on his life, 100K price, that ended the strife. The dead bitches, a full 180 spin, just an old block's dead, said I'm doing it again. Back to that day, August, on Oak Street, shopping for a son, a moment so sweet. So in the end, slide up, a planned assassination, 38 shots, a tragic creation, 16 of the kids on the curb, trying to be better than his actions and words, but trapped in a cycle, revenge in the street. His music, the killers, he bragged complete. They kept him locked into a life, he was fighting, now he's a Chicago legend. Untied in the life, they trace us guilty, all 6 is a just entertainment. Mandatory life sentences, taking their clothes, and drill music, create also claiming dirt by the state and the labels were aiming to profit from violence, put a bounty on his life, 100K price, that ended the strife. Tell me what it was worth. Rest in power, FBG Duck. So in the end, it was FBG Duck. Sorry that had given back when the city was stuck. Throwing school drive for the kids on the curb. Trying to be better, his actions and words, but trapped in a cycle, revenge in the street. His music, the exit he couldn't complete. It kept him locked into the life he was right. Now he's a Chicago legend who died in the light. So I gotta ask, is it just entertainment we hear? Or does this drill music create all the fear? Another incredible talent, gone from the earth for the beats and the bars. Tell me what it was worth.
Rest in peace, L.
Yo,
Rest in power,
it's your boy
FBG
FBG Duck, man. I'm with the 2020
sorry that
movement.
hip-hop is
And
a
I want to say
graveyard.
another thing too, though, man. Like,
Salute.
everybody that's on this internet doing all this extra, you know what I'm saying, putting your guns up. I used to be one of the niggas to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I used to do it myself, but I grew. I learned as a man that can't keep going on. You know what I'm saying? Like posting guns all on the internet, waving guns all on the internet. I'm even stop putting guns in my videos. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I learned it's kids that watch us too. You know what I'm saying? We're a big influence to the kids. And if we want to be big influence to the kids, we got to show them how to do right. We can't show them what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? We got to do right by them. We got to do right by us, by our family, by our kids. We got to set example. You know what I'm saying? When we rap, voices, people listen to us. So if we want to do right, we got to start off with ourselves.
Thank you to all my subscribers for watching and supporting this channel. In the end, FBG Duck was more than the headlines and the rivalries. He was a son, a father, a friend, and an artist who was trying to change his life, his neighborhood, and his city. He began the hard journey of transformation, but sadly, his final transition came before he could finish the work he started. May his story remind us that the fight for change is urgent and that our voices matter while we still have the chance to use them. Unfortunately, hip hop is a graveyard.
A federal jury has.
And before we go on into the video, I just wanted to point out, did y'all listen to what he was saying at the end of the last songography? He was actually trying to change. He was telling people to stop putting pow-pows in their videos and stop flaunting guns around because they're children looking up to them as rappers. And he also admitted that he once did that when he was younger, but now he was a man and he now saw how wrong it was. And he wanted to change the influence. So what happened? What happens when somebody doesn't want to stay on a destructive path? What have you seen happen in hip hop when someone does not want to continue with the poison that they're putting out there in the atmosphere for younger people to look at? They end up being unalive. That is what history is showing us, from Tupac to Biggie, from Scott LaRock. I'm not gonna say, let me take Biggie back. I don't know about Biggie, but I'm not saying that he didn't. I just have not heard a song where Biggie ever put out that wanted to change or nothing like that. And I'm not saying that he didn't, but I kind of do think I heard a rumor that he was wanting to be honest with you. But anyway, we'll just stick to the Tupac example. But there's plenty of more. Nipsey Hussle, you know what I mean? Even him. It's so many people that wanted to stop. I'm gonna even go as far as to say NBA Youngboy. He wanted to stop. He wanted to stop putting out poisonous music to the youth. And he ended up in prison. Yep. I think it's safe to say that these labels also have a hand in a lot of this violence in the hip hop industry. We know that for a fact. Hey, get to know. Thanks for coming. But, okay, listen, stop putting stuff in my camera. I'm on live, son. I'm on live, Jacob. Oh. These kids are rude.
Oh.
I got them same thing.
Hi, Jacob.
It doesn't matter what mom is doing. They don't care. Mom is mom. Mom can be speaking at the White House, and they still gonna walk up like mom. Mom. Stop. Leave me alone sometimes. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I'm too old for this now. I'm too old for this. I can't be having my chain of thought cut off like that because I don't know where I was. But hey, get to know you. Thanks for coming in. Let's get back into the video because I forgot my train of thought. Thanks a lot, Jacob. Oh, you got something to say?
Well, until later, that's how it always is. That's how it always is, because rap is a art of storytelling in some way.
Yeah.
And when you live something and you could represent that in a way that is to their liking, and notice that he never really got certain success until he did certain things, until he really let loose. But like he said at the end, he realized that really wasn't it, Like he's basically saying, if you want to see some change, you basically got to be the change you want to see. And that statement right there, that goes against, against the agenda, because that isn't the image they wanted.
Right.
Understand?
And I don't know why. Yeah. Yep. And I don't know why. Hi, G2K. Oh, you're on a different name. Okay. But yeah, you're right. It seems like that every time that somebody wants to get out, somebody wants to change, somebody wants to do something positive, because FBG Duck, contrary to what people say about this young man, is that he was out there in the community helping his community. I mean, I read what he was doing back to school drives and things like that. He wasn't just a rapper and he wasn't just thinking about himself. He also was trying to help his brothers around him as well.
Hey, Margie.
I mean, I read a lot of good that he was trying to do. And he didn't leave. I believe that he could have left his city because he knew that the city was, dangerous for him. But he just loved his city so much. He loved his city so much. Like what we just watched was the 2020 Vision campaign. The Violence Prevention and COVID-19 Education campaign is the speech what we just watched at the end, when I stopped and we were talking about in the gun violence, stop putting all that stuff in your videos and stuff. He joined Bo Deal's 2020 Vision, which leveraged credible messengers to combat violence and educate youth on COVID-19 safety and awareness. And in an Instagram video, just like what we just watched, he basically spoke on it. He spoke out against shootings that occurred in front of children. And he conveyed, I'm sorry, YouTube, pow-powing. He conveyed his fear of being unalived in front of his own children, calling instead for a safer path for the younger people. So he did a lot. He also looks like that, I'm looking this up, that he supported several peace initiatives on Chicago's South Side, provided donations to families affected by gun violence. He helped distribute school supplies and meals during the summer of 2020 by collaborating with local organizers. But in late 2019, Duck released the track Chicago Legends, which ultimately kind of changed the game for him, because it really kind of just it showed that he really wanted to change. And what Chicago Legends is that even though he was at his gang, which, well, I'm not going to say he was a part of the gang. I'm just going to say his set. I'm going to say his set, FBG or St. Lawrence or EBT, or I don't know all the names, but I know that they're, kind of collect. But their ops were Overlock, which is King Von's set, in which they're kind of close in together, which was kind of dumb to be at odds with somebody's neighborhood so close. But during this war that started, both sides lost a lot of people. When I wrote the part when it says that he was sliding through the pain, the very first sonography that I wrote for him. Mm-hmm. Slide means you spinning the block, you're looking for somebody to unalive, basically, up, because you're at war. Well, what happened is that FBG Duck had a best friend, 15-year-old named Tuka. Tuka was unalived on a bus stop. That's how this thing really blew up and started. So when I said that he was sliding through the pain, these kids, these young men, these kids, I'm going to keep saying it, have experienced so much death that I don't even know how they're alive. I don't know how they are alive on the inside, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
That's all they see or have seen and still continue to see all day, every day. It's just death.
It's a war zone. Sounds like a war zone.
It is. And that's why Chicago got the name Chirac.
Right.
Similar to Iraq.
Wow.
So that's what I meant when I wrote that part. He was sliding through the pain, meaning, okay, I'm not saying that FBG Duck did any type of sliding, but I'm speaking for all of them when I say this, sliding through the pain. They're out there trying to get back or revenge because of the pain that they felt from their friends and their family members being taken away from them prematurely, some through violence, some through the prison system, some through suicide. If that makes sense.
Hey, Adele, how you doing?
Hey, Adele.
And Auntie Leah, to be honest with you, let me just little side note here. Let's just mirror it a bit. Even over on my side of the world, you get youths who see these videos, who glamorize these images, who see this and they love it.
Right.
They see the success. They see, okay, this lifestyle is bringing them this, is bringing them that. I need to try that. And what they would do is they would copy and imitate the same thing. And such thing as halfway crook. You don't play with some people who in real life. It ain't no game. This ain't no video you watching. You roll up on somebody. You will get roll up for. So I see a lot of youth senselessly lose their life, but at the same time, it was a disconnection somewhere that drawn them to that. And when they get drawn to it, that's like the end of their lifestyle or the end of the good life for them, because what happens is there's a period where just like within this, they start to, click up with, other youths, and lives start to be lost through senseless acts of violence, and that start to reshape their destiny. And they either spend a lifetime trying to get revenge, or, they spend a lifetime in jail, just thinking about the life they could have had. But FBG, based on, the last part of the sonography, if his mind was internationally and all around, then I guess he saw the damages, because there's a lot of lives being lost over this drill music and representing a lifestyle that you really ain't representing,
and he probably was tired of it, of seeing loss. Contrary to what people believe, these men and women, these kids, they have hearts, they have feelings. They have hearts. They're not monsters.
Just victims of the system.
Victims of the system and product of the surrounding environments, all that.
Yeah, all that rolled up into one.
Yeah. So, what about you, Nick? You got anything? Nick, you're muted. All right, so
hang on. How I pulled an Auntie Leah. Excuse me, sorry. I didn't want you to hear me typing. I was just doing my thing. So, yeah, one thing I learned about FBG Duck was that he was all about accountability. He's like, with social media, if you don't want anyone to know where you are, just don't go on social media. Don't post it.
Right.
You're putting a target on your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was very interesting. I was watching the Vlad interview with him, and he was quite wise. Even though he was caught up in everything, he was quite wise. He said, when you're 15 years old, you're old enough to make a choice and decide what you want to do with your life.
Right.
And when you can draw on how you were when you were 15, and then give the advice to new 15-year-olds.
Correct.
That shows a lot of wisdom. That shows a lot of, you can choose a path to take.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I've got for right now.
Okay. Well, like I said, people are saying that he was really trying to change. He was striving to break away from the street life and the gang affiliations, for the sake of his own children. He didn't want his children.
And that's it right there, you want
to go through that. He didn't want his children to go through what he went through.
Yeah.
And
he was very
careful with his children, and that pisses me off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
He was very. Oh, sorry. You said go ahead. Yeah, so he was very careful to not himself. He never went outside with his children. He left that up to the baby mamas. So, he never put his children in danger directly. Yeah. But this is what I'm saying about the accountability. He was accountable for all of his actions. He knew every time he went outside in Chicago that he was in danger. He knew.
Yeah. And it's just, I just don't, I'll never understand why they did that to him. He was a well-respected person, even within his community, even within affiliations with other sets. He was a well-respected individual. And like his mom, I believe I'd seen an interview, her name is Lashina Weekly. She even said, he's never went to prison. He has no record. He has nothing out there saying that he sold any type of narcotics or unalived anybody, nothing like that. He just wasn't. So why? It's just, I don't know. It's kind of deep and it's kind of tugging at my heart a little bit. So I'm just going to push play on this thing and let's get right into his life story. Okay, we're starting from the end to the beginning, and then unfortunately we're going to end up at the end again.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, man.
Has convicted 6 suspected gang members in the murder of rapper FGB Duck. The rapper was shot outside a luxury clothing store in Chicago on East Oak Street in April of 2020. His girlfriend and a shopper were also hurt. Prosecutors say the murder was the result of a violent gang war fueled in part by rap songs by Duck and a competing Chicago rapper. The 6 men were convicted today of charges including conspiracy and murder. They will be sentenced at a later date.
On August 4th, 2020, one of the richest neighborhoods in Chicago literally turned into a war zone. I'm talking about the Gold Coast place with luxury shops and quiet streets. But in the middle of the day, 2 cars pulled up, 4 guys jumped out and started blasting. Their target? A 26-year-old dad just trying to buy a birthday present for his son. He was shot 16 times and was left lying on the street for over 15 minutes before anyone took him to the hospital. This man was FGB Duck, a rapper with a gold record. So how does a famous musician get gunned down in broad daylight on one of the wealthiest streets in the city? The answer is insane, and it all comes back to the violent world his music was about. FGB Duck, whose real name was Carlton Weekly, was born on December 6, 1993, on the south side of Chicago. He grew up in a public housing project and later moved into his grandma's house with 15 other family members. Can you imagine that? And with his dad in prison for 27 years, Carlton had to grow up way too fast. His mom worked like crazy just to keep food on the table. Duck himself said he was a bad kid, always fighting. He started repping his neighborhood, St. Lawrence Avenue, which is how his future crew got its name, STL. In his neighborhood, poverty and gangs were everywhere. His older brother, FGB Brick, was already in the Gangster Disciples gang, so it was basically guaranteed that Duck would follow him right into that life of crazy loyalty and even crazier violence. In 2011, Chicago drill music was exploding, and Carlton started dropping music as FGB Duck. FGB means Flyboy Gang, a group he started with his brother and some friends. Their music was just a raw look at their real lives. And as he got into music, he got deeper into his gang, the Tocqueville Gangster Disciples. They named their group after a friend who was killed. But everything changed when his close friend Tuca was murdered in January 2011. He was only 15 years old. His death kicked off a massive war between Duck's crew, Tocqueville, and their rivals, O Block. This beef would literally define Duck's entire life. His music got super aggressive and he started getting famous, challenging other huge artists like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. But then tragedy hit again. In 2017, his older brother FGB Brick was murdered. Duck was completely heartbroken and he recorded his next song while he was drunk, finishing the entire thing in just 30 minutes. That song was Slide. Slide came out in late 2017 and it blew up instantly. The song was a massive diss
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I used to bump Slide. Not even gonna lie. I still bump it every once in a while now.
to his rivals and it went viral, getting tens of millions of views. This one song got him a record deal with Sony and was so big it was later certified
he didn't
gold.
even have a deal. Cowboy Inc. had the deal. So when Doug thought he was signed to Sony, he wasn't, because this is what Manny was feeding him. And this is what he would tell Doug. Don't tell your mama nothing, because he didn't want me and my
Fair
son
use,
here.
guys. Fair use.
So
this is his
me having
mother,
a relationship
Lashina.
with Sony, and I'm talking to them, and they basically telling me, we never signed Doug. We signed Cowboy Inc. I say, when y'all gave him $150,000 advance, he say, no, we gave Manny $375,000. So when my son died, and he got $21,000 from the label, because they got a furniture deal for Cowboy Inc., whatever a furnishing deal is. Not Duck Sands or Sony per se by himself.
Right. It wasn't an artist.
No.
Right.
But Duck under pressure.
Okay. Uh-oh, shoot. Now, how did that happen, Leah? Always doing something. Anyway, I wanted to stop this too, because I wanted you to teach you what a furnishing deal was in the industry. I had to actually look that up. So let me bring my notes up. Okay. So FBG Duck thought that he was signed personally to Sony. That's the lie that his manager told him, Manny, which is what Mama Duck just said. Mama Duck is what the world calls her. Okay. Her name is Lashina Weekly. Lovely person. I've spoken to her before. Lovely person. What you can watch her YouTube, you can watch her Instagram. She experienced so much loss, but she goes on like strong because she trusts in God, right? But he thought he was personally signed to Sony, only to come to find out that they got a furnishing deal. So he wasn't individually signed with Sony. His manager's company, the production company was, or the company, that the label basically that he worked for or through. So here's how it works. Instead of an artist being signed directly to the label, they are signed to a production company, or sometimes their manager or producer. I think that Manny was his manager. I should have looked that up, but I did not look that up, guys, and I'm sorry that I failed you. If anybody else on the panel has time to look up who Manny was to FBG Duck, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Okay. So after Sony signed the company and not FBG Duck, the production company then furnishes the artist, delivers their recordings, usually in the form of albums or singles, to the label under the furnishing deal. So that's the type of deal that he had. The label treats the production company as the contracting party and not the individual artist. The label pays the production company, which in return pays the individual artist. So there was a middleman, right? Getting the money. And if you do the math, the Manny guy, he's taking most of it, because if Sony gave gave the company $375,000 and he only gave Duck $150,000, then he pocketed $225,000 allegedly. And he's no artist. He don't got the skills. He doesn't have the gift. He's not rhyming. So why do you get a bigger cut, sir? You shouldn't have.
Exactly.
And you're dirty. And you're foul for that. You're foul. Okay. And then the artist royalties in advances flow through the production company first, or the manager, or the producer. Meaning the company controls his money.
The money.
It often takes cuts before passing it down. In this case, he took a huge cut before passing it down.
Wow.
So Auntie Leah, that's Manny on the screen right now.
Oh, I know who that's who he is, but what was he?
Yeah.
Was he his manager? Was he?
Yeah, there's actually very little information on him, which is a bit strange.
He a crook. He's a criminal. That's
Mhm.
all we need to know. Because
Not a
why
real
did you take that
manager.
man's money?
Mhm.
What manager makes more than an artist? Where do
No.
they do that at, sir? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So who controlled his masters is another question I'm thinking about.
I know. I'm hoping that Mama Duck does. Hoping. But I think that I want to do something on her a little later as well, because like I said, she had 10 children. She lost 5 of those 10 children. I'm just going to speak on the 2 that she lost of gun violence, and that was FBG Brick, which was, you seen his picture doing the little, the sonography. His pictures was flashing. And then her son Duck, FBG Duck. And this woman has lost half her children, and she still smiles. She still helps people. She still encourages people. She's entertaining. You name it. I love Mama Duck. So, all right. Let's get back into the video, guys.
So when my son died, and he got $21,000 from the label, because they got a furniture deal with Cloudboy Inc., whatever a furniture deal is. Not Duck fans or Sony per se by himself.
Right. It wasn't an artist.
No.
Right.
But Duck under pressure.
But with more fame came way more problems. In the drill scene, diss tracks were literally declarations of war, and Duck was known for being completely savage with his lyrics about O-Block. So obviously they started targeting him. Their top rapper, King Von, dropped a track dissing Duck's dead family and friends by name. But then Duck did something nobody saw coming. He dropped a song called Chicago Legends, where he actually showed respect to dead rappers from both sides of the war. He said he wanted to be more mature and set a better example. It seemed like things could actually cool down. But just a few months later, he dropped a song called Dead Bitches and did a complete 180. He went right back to dissing dead members of O-Block, even saying in the song that he knew he said he wouldn't, but he did it anyway. This song was another huge hit, but it also put a giant target on his back.
That's why I fought for spicy. I always trust the God, but I get no ass. I roll around with the stick, I ain't gonna never panic. Trying to convince me to get down. I'll be ready for so cool. It's my ground. You got so much pain in me. I don't like danger. You turn my anger. I was in Vegas, but this nigga's lame as fuck. Take up a lead in us. Soon as I got home, they took me. Why did you go? Tell me, Lord, why you can't go? I've been living here. You was probably like that glass for her. You was just trying to get some food. I wish you kept it true. Yeah. People talking, trying to know what they mean. All this fucking pain, I'm steady drinking codeine. People say me now, I'm trying to know what they say. She get crazy, post to bring to the grave. She's stupid. Hated when I get it home. Real stupid. That's the music. I've been taking drugs. Cause I know I'm really with them. Don't you have mention we gon' play. Don't say you feel like taking shit. I wish all my niggas come to see me. Look at what I need and I'm on TV. Bitch, I got 4 kids. Cool and breathing machines. I see ways. So they put everything that I do now for my business. Nobody really know how I feel. That's swap hustle up right here. Like you always cuss me out, but I get on it. I'm really hard with the shit, I ain't gonna never happen. Try to convince me to get better. I'll be lying if I told you like it ain't right. You got so much pain in us. I know what's dangerous. You talk about anger. I was ready. Them niggas lying as fuck. They didn't believe it, but as soon as I got up, you trying to hang with us.
Wow. Wow. Hey, Set in the West.
Hi, Adele.
Hey, what's up, Odell?
Hey, what's up? What's up? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you.
Yep, we hear you. What's cooking?
Not much. I was just sitting here listening to what you put together or the content about this rapper. I don't know too much about FBG or FBG Duck.
Yeah.
But I know a little bit about the story and it's what's that one song by Digital Underground? Same song. It's the same story.
Same story.
You hear it. It sounds as if they signed him and they anticipated his unalivement because they were doing this 20 years back as a YouTuber content creator. I just ran into him a while back, but I know he's been a rapper before he was a content creator for years. And he was going to sign a deal, and that before he signed, he was going to sign a deal. It was on the contingency of him beefing with another up and coming rapper who was from around that general area he was from. And then they wanted him to be a gangbanger, and he wasn't even a gangbanger. So these are things that industry people do. They set up stuff like this. They figure, the controversy, and they egg this type of beef on, but it's real street beef and it's real consequences at the end. But they don't matter. They'll put a policy out there, life insurance policy on you once you sign that deal, and when you're unalive, they collect the millions and they still get your money off of your off your yeah.
Wow.
And I know you're telling the truth because listen, now FBG Duck put out a song called Chicago Legends. In this song, he was actually giving props to both sides. His set and the op set, which is King Von's set, Oblock, and then his set. He was giving props to the fallen soldiers on both sides. 2 months later, he dropped another song called Dead Bitches, which disrespected everybody that he had already just lifted up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the Chicago Legends is what he really wanted to put out. And then the production company and all that say, hey, this ain't good for business, blah, blah, blah. You got to turn this around. Just like how they did Tupac Shakur when he wanted to put out Brenda Got a Baby the first time. The record, his production, people, record label wouldn't let him do it first. They was like, oh, it's too heavy. We don't want you to put that out. Same concept, I think. What do you think?
You hit on something, Auntie Leah, because I was thinking about it. In his earlier part, he was already doing his thing, because like I said, a lot of people may be talking it, but he was actually living what he represented. So it was a real experience for him. But think about this now. He was already making this type of music, but it's only until he made Slide and he got recognition on social media, like heavy recognition, and it was something that could actually be marketed, because outside of that, the beef thing, it was just like under a social norm as black on black, whatever. But here it is now. The world could see that he had talent now, because now social media gave him a stage. So it's only then that this so-called deal with Sony actually came about. So it's interesting how it's only at a certain point that they actually stepped in when it was actually something they could market, something they could make millions of.
Right. Yep, I agree. Now, Halle Berry is Sony. We all know the background of Sony.
Oh
Halle
yeah.
Berry's. But Seth, what do you think about what I just said about him putting out that positive song, honoring the fallen or the dead on both sides of the war, and then 60 days later putting out the most disrespectful song of his whole career? Which
Yeah,
most of
that makes.
everybody must like. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, that makes sense. It's like you say, if you he's an artist, and if he was promoting unity from the jump and continue to promote that unity, it's a problem for their pockets, the investors. So they probably urged him to do that song so that it'll line up the way it did for him in the end, and he found his demise. Now the same thing. Well, I wouldn't even say they tried this with Nipsey. Number one, L.A. and I'm comparing Nipsey because I know I'm more close to that story and how his rise was. And L.A. there's all kind of gangs. There's all kind of people who get in the industry and maybe loosely connected to the gang or just straight up direct, but they never really say the gang. Like if you notice, West Coast rappers before Nip, really nobody really said where they were from. Maybe Quick. I know Quick mentioned, but he wasn't really from Treetop Pyru like that, but he is, but not like that. But Nip was one of the first ones to be like 6-0. That's what's up. Like I was like, whoa, and it's like, I know in Chicago and other areas, it's different. The politics are different, but it would have worked adversely for Nip because number one, he's coming out saying a known gang, and that already will put a target on his back. But he honestly flipped it, and people respected him more, and he was talking more about unity. And when him and YG hooked up, even people in his gang, because YG is a blood from Compton, even people in his gang were like, "Oh, you're gonna get disciplined for being around doing songs with this blood." So Nip was a good example of like keeping that unity and still, it was just all about respect.
Right.
FBG Duck doing that song to just show respect and honor. That's just a thing, honorable thing for him to do. But no, I think the labels were behind it to just more or less create, well, like I said, what ultimately led to his demise. And they don't want to see unity, even with like female rappers. It's not like all the female rappers right now can get together and go on tour and make a killing, but the labels don't want that because then that's less drama. That people are invested in drama, and they want to see more drama. You know what I'm saying? So that's what these people do in the industry.
Right.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
Hey,
Unfortunately.
Adele, I've got a question for you about the industry. Do you think they send out feelers to find out what's actually going on at ground zero to, bring?
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean, like feelers with ground zero? What are you talking about? Like the street stuff?
Yeah, like do they send people out to find out what beefs are going on and how to create the chaos between the rappers?
They already know. They know because if you pay attention, if you know about hip hop cops and stuff like that, they already know. Just like when an NBA, if a young dude from the street signs to the NBA, those people already know who he's associated with. They know the dirt he's done. They know. So with the hip hop stuff, they already know because, like a TMZ, for example, they know dirt on people before the rest of the people know because they have inside snitches. So there's people that talk to law enforcement, and then there's law enforcement who encourage the stuff. So they know, and even if you don't have a beef with someone, they'll manufacture it.
Right, and are they getting paid for it?
I don't know if they're getting paid, but I'm sure something's going on. It's
Yeah.
not just
It's such a big
but
operation.
but yeah, there's no money in peace, and there's no money in unity.
No, yeah.
True. Same thing as wars.
Yep.
Between countries. Same thing.
Yep. There's no money. There's always money in conflict. Always.
Yep. And with the war thing, when they need to boost the economy, they'll create a war somewhere.
Yep. Exactly. You got it, Nick.
And that just trickles down to what we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
To boost it up, they've got to create a war.
I just think it's interesting though how he put out that song. Guys, look up that song, Chicago Legends by FBG Duck, and then 2 months later he dropped Dead Bitches. It's just so evident what happens. They lined this guy up. They lined him up. Yep. That's what they did. So
you said that I was watching, I think Nick mentioned the Vlad interview with him. I was listening to that interview, and I kind of see why everyone say what they say, because the way the host, the type of questions that he asked FBG, I mean, it was like so you could see it was something he wanted him to get, something he wanted to get out of him, and in some type of way, it was just like, okay, I could see what's going on. I really could see what's going on, but
right.
I looked at it then just to say, well, okay, this happened. Well, FPG Doc isn't here now, so let me see some of the events. And looking at that interview, I mean, I really call it sus based on the questions, based on the man lifestyle, and I see why he had to say some of the things he said.
Yeah.
Really no such thing as halfway crook, and if you place yourself certain places, then and that was something I really held on to. And looking at what happened to him, how it happened, where it happened.
Right.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
like, yeah.
And in that interview, he also said, if you put yourself somewhere you're not meant to be, then you get what's coming to you. So he always was a bit conscious of where he was and where he should be and where he shouldn't be. So he was very aware of that.
Yes, he was very intelligent too. He was intelligent. He was smart. Him going out in broad daylight was smart. In a populated, setting was smart. The Demise was the old Block 6. Okay, he didn't go, out, in a secluded spot. He didn't go out at dark. He was in broad daylight. Who would have thought that these dummies who are now sitting behind bars, who are now set to be sentenced starting August 26th of this month for the rest of their lives, will go into this upscale neighborhood and in front of everybody shoot this man, unalive him in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how much money they made out of that.
Nick, stay out of my head. I'm just going to say.
Allegedly, it wasn't even alleged. This was proven in court. It was $100,000 on his head. It was $100,000 on his head.
And how many were involved?
Block 6.
6.
Probably more because King Von he wasn't able to be put on trial because he passed away in November of that year. Karma came back fast, and Day was just tying up the loose strings because now Lil Durk's in jail. So they just took them all off the streets. They just took them all out. Lil Durk's in jail for supposedly getting get back for Von. Von passed away, but it supposedly had nothing to do with FBG Duck, but supposedly Lil Durk backdoored, King Von now. It's all a mess.
Yeah, and to go out in broad daylight, you have to be paid to do that sort of stupid.
Oh, they was paid.
Shit.
Oh, paid well too.
And everyone's disposable.
And to know that your community that you live in, O Block, has some surveillance cameras all around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what
I got the video. You'll see it.
Yeah.
So let's get back to it, okay, guys? Anybody else before I hit play? Going once, going twice, gone.
And that brings us to August 4, 2020. FBG Duck is on Oak Street, one of the fanciest streets in Chicago, shopping for his son's birthday. Suddenly, 2 cars pull up, 4 men jump out and unload. In just 15 seconds, they fired 38 shots. Duck was hit 16 times and died at the hospital. This was a straight-up assassination in public, and it shocked everyone. The feds immediately connected the murder to the O-Block gang war. Around this time, Butter, Lil J, and K.I. had all begun repping STL.
A lot of them.
Tuka was still the new kid on the block. His older brother had been sent away to boot camp, leaving him to fend for himself. Because he spent so much time visiting his father in Wick City, STL members assumed he was from there and would often try to jump him. The young gang would even wait on the corner just for Tuka to come outside. A few times, Tuka's mother had to step in and protect him, sometimes with hot bleach water, other times with a baseball bat to keep the gang off her son. Even his two other brothers were forced to get involved in the fights. This went on for months until STL realized that Tuka and his family weren't going anywhere. Eventually, Tuka began playing street football with Duck, Dutchie, Butter, and the other STL kids. They also loved to wrestle around for fun. One day, while roughhousing, Tuka slammed Dutchie so hard he accidentally chipped his tooth. Instead of making enemies, it made Tuka even more liked. He was fun, athletic, and hilarious. People loved being around him. By the summer of 2010, Tuka was fully part of STL. He started joining in on street fights and was known as a strong fighter, even rumored to have beaten up several Wick City and TYMB members. Duck and Tuka grew especially close. They were best friends, according to Duck. They hung out every day, slept over at each other's houses, fought side by side, and even shared female friends. Tuka quickly became one of the most popular kids in the neighborhood. On the morning of January 12, 2011, Tuka was sent home early from school for disrespecting a teacher. To kill time before his wrestling match, he hung around the neighborhood. When it was time, he returned to school, wrestled, and won. Excited, he called his brother at around 6:00 p.m. to share the good news. Later that evening, Tuka, Little P, and others were outside near the corner store. It was freezing, about 25 degrees. After smoking and rapping, Little P decided to walk to the public library to warm up, leaving Tuka at the bus stop with two others. At 6:03 p.m., Tuka called his mom, telling her he was heading home. But moments later, a car filled with alleged TYMB members drove past and spotted him. It said that Tuka may have flashed a gang sign. A man in a hoodie walked up, asked when the next bus was coming, and then suddenly pulled out a gun. He shot Tuka, stood over him, and fired 5 more times before running to a blue Chevy Malibu that sped off. Little P, hearing the shots, rushed back, only to find his friend lifeless on the ground. At around 6:15,
here we are, guys. Here we are with another unaliving, broad daylight, on a busy street in Chicago. Broad daylight.
Got to be paid for that. To do it in the daylight, that's money.
He was 15 years old. I don't know if they probably, I don't know. You know, they
a lot of people.
Been.
A lot of people thought that he was a lot older than 15. They didn't realize he was 15.
These kids that unalived Tuka were from the opponents, the op gang, right. The op set. Yep. They knew exactly how old Tuka was. They didn't care.
That's the thing. When you're young and senseless, it's that senseless violence. You see?
Yeah, he was 15 years old, coming from he came from a wrestling match. It's crazy. All right, guys, but this is what set it off. This is what set the war off, allegedly. And when I say war, later on in the video, you're going to see a collage. And every picture that you see that has a dove next to it is a kid that's no longer here. It's overwhelming.
15 p.m., Tuka's mother received the devastating phone call.
15-year-old Chanel Gregory was shot in the 500 block of East 63rd Street. The boy was on the street when a suspect got out of a vehicle and shot him multiple times. That gunman got back into the car and fled west on 63rd. Police say Gregory was dead on the scene. The incident is possibly gang-related. No one is in custody.
And you know what these idiots did after they unalived this 15-year-old kid? Started making rap songs talking about they smoking on Tuka.
Wow.
All in their songs were smoking, and that became a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got that from the Outlaws when Outlaws said that they smoked the ashes of Tupac. So they went way back in the 90s and got that and brought it to the forefront, and everybody's smoking on each other.
It's like the blueprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and it's disrespectful. So now these mothers have to listen to these songs, you know, saying, "Oh, they're smoking on my child. They're smoking on my child."
Mm-hmm.
A Tuka pack, a FB Duck pack, a Bonnie pack, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right. See, right here it says, seemingly mocking his death with phrases like "smoking Tuka." Crazy. Wild.
She and her boyfriend rushed to the scene where Duck, Dutchie, and the rest of STL had already gathered around Tuka's body. His body remained on the cold pavement for nearly 6 hours as family, friends, and neighbors stood in disbelief. The delay sparked outrage, and a riot broke out in protest. Tuka was just 15 years old when his life was taken. In his honor, STL renamed 63rd and St. Lawrence Tukaville. The pain of his loss fueled a push for revenge, not only from STL, but also from allied sets like Jarrow City Mob and EBT. Together, they began sliding for Tuka, and this marked the beginning of a war.
There's a video of Little Dirk talking about this is a famous bus stop. This is a famous bus stop.
I got on the phone with my son at 6:04. I got a call at 6:12. My son was dead. The detective called me. He said, well, we want to call you and let you know there's been a shooting and he's been involved. So I get there. I'm thinking my son in the ambulance, but how he land, and all I see is this white sheet. I'm not thinking that's my son under that white sheet. When I saw my son laying on that cold ass ground, I just knew my mother intuition just kicked in and just say, go get your child. If we see you, everything gonna be okay. His body was out there so long, the concrete print, it got embedded in his head.
Damn.
Took them people 6 hours, 6 whole hours to come and get my baby out them fucking streets, man.
So I wrote a small songography for Tuka as well. This is the video I'm speaking of, that every time you see a dove by their name, see Keita, her. She's no longer here. You'll see so many of these are kids. These are kids.
Yeah, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Tuka in the sky.
Yeah.
From the block to the heavens.
T-Boy.
They won't die.
Yeah.
Forever remember.
Yeah.
Tuka in the sky.
This one's for two.
From the block to the heavens.
15 candles.
They won't die.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon. Yeah. Big smile, young soul on the block. Play ball, crack jokes, time never stopped. Hey. Mama held him down, brother stood strong. He was the laughter, the light, the song. 15 years, but your name still remains. We remember your spirit through the joy and the pain. Tuka, yes.
Tuka in the sky.
Oh.
From the wall to the heavens.
baby tears hit the ground. Called his mama, said, I'm on my way now. But a life cut short, dreams left behind. Still love in the hood, keeps your flame alive. 15 years, but your name still remains. We remember your spirit through the joy and the pain. Took a young angel, forever you'll shine. Your story lives on past the test of time. Forever remember. Took her in the sky. From the block to the heavens. Your name won't die.
And you won't believe how they caught them. They used surveillance footage and social media posts where the killers were literally bragging about the crime.
5 alleged Chicago street gang members now facing federal charges in connection with the shooting death of a local rapper downtown. The charges announced today by the U.S. attorney, who says social media played a role in this case. Our Patrick Elwood live at the Dirksen Federal Building now with the latest. Pat?
Ben, and right you are, a brazen act of violence that took place on an August day in the Gold Coast against a Chicago rapper. And then it was promoted and bragged about on social media. And the feds say it was because of that helped them make this case. It was back in August of 2020 that Carlton Weekly, who went by the rapper name FGB Duck,
What block you from? Let us know so we can spin it.
was gunned down in the city's Gold Coast while shopping. A joint task force of law enforcement working together on this one. And today, CPT Superintendent David Brown says this is part of a bigger strategy to thwart gang violence and maximize prison time for those who will be found guilty.
We are going after gangs in this city. This includes gang investigations, narcotics investigations, and gun investigations. We are working together to hold gang members accountable for violence.
Today, 5 members of a faction of the Gangster Disciples have been indicted for his murder.
This was one of those cases we were able to bring federal resources to bear to work with the Chicago Police Department to ultimately help us make the case.
In announcing the indictments, U.S. Attorney John Lausch says this is a federal case because it falls under federal racketeering organized crime statutes. Charged are 30-year-old Charles Liggins, 20-year-old Kenneth Roberson, 22-year-old Christopher Thomas, 22-year-old T. Carlos Offord, and 22-year-old Marcus Smart. The indictment alleges the 5 used social media to brag about their crimes as a way to intimidate rivals and promote their standing within the gang, which operates in the 63rd and King Drive area. But U.S. Attorney Lausch says by using social media, in a way, they set their own trap.
There are now 5 people in custody who weren't in custody before. 5 people who were alleged to have committed a murder in broad daylight in the middle of the afternoon in the city of Chicago, okay? And now it's known to them, and it's known to anybody else who might be committing similar acts of brazen violence, right? And who may brag about it or not brag about it, that their day has come.
Okay, so what we're about to watch is we're watching the actual surveillance video prior to them leaving to go do the hit and when they came back. And also during the hit, unfortunately, you will see that when he did get unalived or shot, he didn't die. He did not die instantly. He actually fought for a very long time. He laid on the ground for over 16 minutes.
Yeah, and
why.
Yeah, and I think that was while they were establishing the crime scene and they weren't attending to him.
Yes.
All right, I'm I'm gonna watch from the bushes, y'all. I gotta handle something, but I may come back. But yeah, good work.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
See ya. Wow, they caught everything.
Yep. Now they're arriving back to O Block.
Like nothing happened.
Yep.
Yep, real casual.
Oh, they was running.
FGB Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just fucking ran into this, y'all. Man.
Sensitive.
Yep, trigger warning.
I need you to step back. I'm step back. I'm back. I need you to step behind. Listen here. Ain't no line. What line, ma'am? I need you to step back. Listen here. I'm behind my bike. I stay in this neighborhood. I stay up the street. Y'all, come on. I understand that, y'all. They just, man, I don't know, man. Okay, listen here. All right? Come on, man. I understand that. That's great, y'all. Hey, y'all, man, they just shot FBG Duck in the Gold Coast of Chicago, bro. Why?
Where's the ambulance?
Why you just got to keep it, man?
Right.
Come on, man. I was riding my bike, bro.
So much things missing.
Yep.
Man, it's crazy, y'all. It's crazy.
Even the fire department, somebody that knows how to look after someone that's injured.
I'm back, bro. I'm back. You
told me where to
be at. Trying to, but they just didn't.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, here's a siren.
Your bike and the police bike. Please do it
Probably more
now.
police.
Please do it now, sir. Step behind your bike and the police bike.
Okay, I got you. Get him an EMT. Is you ringing for an EMT, sir? Are you? Is y'all dispatch? Where's the EMT?
Yep, where's the EMT?
Okay, to get it, man. All right, get it, bro. Get it. Do your job. Attend to him and stop saying it's a crime scene. Get that EMT. Go do your job. Get the EMT. Hurry up. Pull that EMT up.
Yep.
I don't care, sir. Okay, listen here. Listen here. I don't listen here. You do what
Why
you
is
gotta
he
do.
so much
You do
concerned
what you
about
gotta
him?
do, y'all. You do what you gotta do. I clearly understand this, man. Look at this, y'all. I'm in the Gold Coast of Chicago. Man,
oh my God,
this
he's
crazy,
fighting.
y'all. Y'all, look at this. Look, only in Chicago.
This officer worried with the wrong thing. Turn around.
Yep, totally. Go get the EMT. Get him through.
Exactly.
They're right there. They're down the road. Get them here. They should be running.
Yeah, there wasn't.
More police walking towards the camera.
Yeah.
There's the EMT.
Yeah,
So many
16 minutes
officers
later.
did nothing.
Yep. He's still moving his legs. Look, he's fighting. Why are they holding his
And
legs
shot in the
down?
Gold Coast,
He
bro.
passed
They shoot
away
in the Gold Coast of
prior
Chicago.
to arriving at the hospital.
Chicago is not a safe place to
Which is
be. You
3
cannot
minutes
even go
away.
downtown and enjoy your day without violence, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this, bro. That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck. Shot.
Yep, definitely fighting Auntie Leah.
He shot, y'all. Look at it.
I would like to think that he was fighting for his kids.
Yep.
That's FBG Duck.
And for his mom.
He took so many point blank. So many point blank.
Yeah.
He's 16, yeah?
And his mom wanted me to show this part.
Yeah, okay. It's important.
Yeah, she wanted the world to see what they did to him.
There's still police around him, no EMT.
I'm serious.
Come on. What are they doing?
All right.
And so much
All right.
next
Do what you got.
They're trying to let him pass away.
I ain't worried about
I
that.
think.
Yeah, I think
ain't
you're
worried
right.
about it. Yeah, I'm good. He the only person that came with some respect, man. Another man, a shooting in the Gold Coast, man, of Chicago, y'all. This got to stop,
So
man.
the ambulance arrived. What happened?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
don't
stay out of
understand.
trouble,
Isn't it
man.
right
I
there?
just saw this. I was riding my
Right
bike in the Gold Coast.
Mama Duck wanted me to show this part.
Yeah,
They need to
yeah.
hurry up and get him in his EMT. All right, thank you. All right, just get him on that
She
bed.
had
And
to
when you
see
get him on
the
that bed,
Did you see
get him on that
anyone come with
bed.
the ambulances
Oh,
yet?
now they're motioning. Now they're motioning. Yeah, okay. There is no hurry up here. Even the EMT.
Perimeter's way down. All the way down. Excuse me, sir. All the way down.
Okay, okay, you good? You
I'm
good?
too busy trying to
good?
block the view.
See,
Yep.
I can't, man.
They
I ain't
know
even been
what
back
they're
from LA
doing.
in a couple of days. All right, come on.
Why wait so long?
I know. When they get him on the bed, that's what I'm leave. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I just gotta make sure he get in his EMT. When they put him in his EMT. All right. All right. Okay. All right. The shooting Chicago rapper got shot, man. That's crazy. All right. All right. Let me grab my bike. Can I grab my bike? All right. All right. Okay. All right. All right.
Oh, is that what he was doing? I can't see.
All right. You're obstructing the investigation. You say I'm I ain't really worried
Oh,
about
he's not obstructing at all. What a load of
All
rubbish.
right, thanks for you. You doing your job? Y'all got a man. Are you doing your job? You need to go
Tell him.
please.
Tell him.
All right, okay. What you gotta do?
Leave him alone.
I don't know why he's so loud.
Chicago, y'all. Can't even go nowhere.
No, they weren't helping.
Individuals shopping. 2 vehicles pulled up. 4 individuals exited those vehicles, 2 from each vehicle, and began firing at the individuals that were on the sidewalk outside of one of the stores here. They also struck a female that was in one of the vehicles, which was also parked outside one of the stores here. Right now, we have 1 male black, 26 years old, transported to Northwestern Hospital where he was pronounced deceased. We have one female black, 26 years old, who was also transported to a hospital. She's currently.
Let me clear my tab.
This idiot.
I don't like to talk about the shit that we did, but bitch, stop posting them niggas we killed. Gang.
Was that one of the shooters?
Again, most people don't even lose one kid.
Wow.
Most people in the world do have the luxury of passing and their children, all their children, burying them. But you losing 5 out of 10.
And that's how God intended it to be. We ain't never supposed to outlive our children, okay? When God created the universe, the world, it wasn't intended for us bringing these kids in this world and we outliving them.
Right.
You know, that's how life and people, you supposed to die. See, we only promised 70 years to a life. If you live anything over 70 years, your ass is living on borrowed time. And even then, God's still not done with you. Your purpose ain't served. You know, people look at bad situations like, it's sad that a 4-year-old child who ain't never did nothing to nobody have to suffer from the wrath of somebody else. See, that's what makes it hard to me for people to have faith, because like you said, what God would let this happen to?
Yeah, yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where free will kick in, because a lot of mistakes, like me personally, I ain't never crossed nobody. I ain't never did nothing dirty to nobody that ain't deserved, that ain't do nothing to me.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? Just have this type of mindset that I see what's going on, like setting somebody up or crossing something. That's why Duck was able to have 2 fucking sets that wanted to kill each other in the same room and ain't shit happened. That's some powerful ass shit.
It sure is.
Can you take me to the day? Like, what was the last conversation you had with Duck before he passed? Or how did you find out the news about him passing?
Well, that night, August 3rd, he had his sons. I think he just left the studio, but he came in the house, and my grandbaby was crying. I came in the house. I was gone. When I came in the house, Duck was at my house, and I hear my grandbaby crying. So I go in the back, because the way the back of the house was, like I had the back of the house, and it was like a dining area with the room. So that was like my little portion. And he was back there, and I'm hearing my grandbaby crying. So I go back there like, what the hell is he crying for? And I see he got him standing on one leg. You know, I guess discipline him or whatever. And I say, why the fuck you got him standing there like that? You know why he's standing there. You know what I'm saying? This was our conversation. So after about 5 more minutes, I'm like, hell nah, you ain't finna keep making my grandbaby standing. I'm a grandmama. See, it's different from being a parent than a grandmama.
Absolutely.
You know, as a parent, I get your ass in that corner and stuff. You know, but seeing somebody do this to, hell no. Come on, grandbaby, get over here. And he was like, man, go on, this my son. And I told his ass, nigga, you mad, right? And I say, you my son. And that was basically the end of that. So I think I cooked some chicken tenders and some fries. He ate. Then he started getting the kids ready. And the last words I said to my son, I say, where you finna go, home? And he stared at me for like 10 seconds and was like, yeah, Mom, I'm finna go home. And he left. And the next day I got up. I missed him before he came to my house, because he'll come over there every day by 12 o'clock. He'll lay on my floor. He'll smoke his wood. He'll get in his phone. He like make studio appointments like for the last year and a half. That's all he was at. He was at the studio with Chris, studio with Daddy. Like he just stayed in the studio. And they was like, he was happy because it was August 4th. And we always celebrate my grandmother's birthday, which is August 5th. This is the lady who raised 5 generations of kids. So we always do something big August 5th. So this was August 4th. And I wasn't there when he got there. I missed him because I was out with my daughter. So I just found out that my daughter was pregnant.
Gotcha.
So I was out all that morning. I got up instantly, took her around, found out. So in the process of me doing that, it was like about 4 or something. I'm in the house and my phone just ringing. My phone started ringing. And I'm like, hello. And they talking about Dutch just got shot. So I'm like, they starting these rumors again? Because you know they had the rumor before that he was shot and killed. So I'm like, but then when it got real to me, I saw the video.
No.
So I see the video of the man and he on the ground. But I'm stuck in traffic trying to get to Northwestern. And people study calling me. And they like, shit, they talking about he dead. And I'm like, can I confirm my son's death? Can I get to the hospital and see what's going on with my child? So when I get there, they treated us so cruel. They treated us like shit. Like, I saw the video how they allow him to lay on the ground and stop the ambulance from caring from him. And he lived 22 minutes after being shot over 22 times. And all that time they had him and denied him medical attention. He was on that ground dying. And about time he made it to the hospital, he was deceased.
Wow.
In the hospital 3 minutes away from where he was shot.
3 minutes away.
And to add insult to injury, the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, get her ass on national TV and say he fancied himself as a rapper. He was live screaming, showing his location, which was all lies. But in April, you were on a picture with Lil Durk. Why he fighting attempted murder charge in Atlanta? But my son not even being arrested as adults. No gun cases.
Lil Durk and
Never
Lori
been to the
Lightfoot.
penitentiary. No drug cases. What press release secretary allowed you to scandalize somebody's name like that you don't know? Because the police didn't like him.
Wow.
While they had us around the corner lying to me talking about, it's under investigation, had me thinking that my son was still alive.
Wow.
They were around the other corner announcing him dead on national TV. And somebody clapped in the crowd when they announced his name.
It's disgusting.
So it's more than what people think that I'm dealing with. It's deeper. I'm fighting for the rights of his music. Because somebody who he trusted is not allowing us to pursue or drop his music. That's why I be so hard to push what I'm trying to do, because as a mom, y'all mothers, if they're still alive, like, that's your queen. I don't care what she did. She left your ass on the garbage lid. You forgive her. She brought you here. She ain't get no payment for that. And that's what a lot of these kids don't understand. Because me as a parent, I went through some shit. And it probably was saying like a lot of times where I didn't love my kids because of my actions. But my kids have always been my work. Dads had choices when they felt like dealing with them. But me as the mother couldn't do that. So I'm glad I had the type of structure I had. I thank God for every struggle I ever been through. It has taught me to stand firm on what I believe in. And I just want it better. I don't want my grandkids going up saying, oh, your daddy killed my daddy, or I'm going to kill you. The cycle needs to stop. I don't want to get political on this shit because I'm not a political person, but I know what it's about. Mm-hmm. It's about them sitting back, making shit accessible for us to destroy ourselves because that's what they want anyway. However way they put it, Black lives shouldn't only matter to people when the police kill us.
After a trial that lasted more than 3 months, a jury convicted 6 men for the murder of rapper FBG Duck. FBG Duck, whose real name is Carlton Weekly, was shot and killed while shopping in the Gold Coast back in August 2020. Feds tied that shooting to a brutal Southside gang war, stoked in part on social media and through rap diss tracks. Today, Weekly's mother thanked prosecutors for bringing her son's killers to justice.
I just want to thank the United States government for doing a very good job on making sure that these guys would never hurt another mom or another child again.
The defense will likely appeal today's convictions. Sentencing dates are set for August and September.
The feds arrested 6 guys from Oakland, and after a huge 3-month trial, the jury found all 6 of them guilty. Every single one faces a mandatory life sentence. And it doesn't even end there. Duck's mom filed a gigantic lawsuit against the rival rappers Lil Durk and King Von's estate, and even their record labels OTF and Sony. She claims they made money by encouraging the violence that got her son killed, and that there was a $100,000 bounty on his head. She's even suing the city of Chicago for not getting him help fast enough. FBG Duck's story is one of the most tragic in all of hip-hop. If you want to see more insane stories about the artists who change music, subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And let me know in the comments, do you think drill music is just entertainment, or does it cause real violence? So in the end, FBG Duck was 2 different people. He was a dad who loved his kids and threw back-to-school drives for his community. He really seemed like he wanted to be a better person for the kids who looked up to him. But he was also trapped in this insane cycle of violence and revenge that he just couldn't escape. His music was supposed to be his way out of that life, but instead, it's what kept him locked in. Today, he's remembered for his gold record, but also for the huge question: does drill music just talk about violence, or does it actually cause it? In his song Chicago Legends, he honored the rappers who died before him. Now, FBG Duck is on that same exact list. Another incredible talent gone forever, Family, on August 4th, 2020. In broad daylight, rapper Carlton FBG Duck Weekly, a father lyricist rising voice of Chicago's drill scene, was ambushed and fatally shot while shopping for his child. the Gold Coast's polished veneer cracked in an instant. More than 3 years later, in January 2024, a federal jury returned guilty verdicts against 6 members linked to the O Block gang: Charles C. Murda Liggins, Kenny Mac Robertson, to Carlos Los Offord, Christopher C. Thang Thomas, Marcus Muop Smart, and Ralph Teasy Turpin. Each was convicted of murder in furtherance of racketeering and conspiracy for orchestrating this public execution-style killing. All 6 now stare down mandatory life sentences. Their sentencing dates, staggered across late 2025, have become the next act in this long saga of violence and justice. Charles Liggins, October 22, 2025. Kenneth Robertson, November 25, 2025. Ralph Turpin, August 26, 2025. Christopher Thomas, December 3, 2025. Carlos Offord, September the 9th, 2025. Marcus Smart, December 4th, 2025. Justice delayed, but not denied. Years removed from the violence. The legal reckoning unfolds piece by piece. Each date, each hearing is a reminder. No street vendetta transcends the weight of a courtroom. As we close this chapter, we are reminded that the streets of Chicago are not the only ones echoing with loss. They are part of a greater story across the culture. Jaguar Wright once spoke the haunting truth. Hip-hop is a graveyard. And in those words, she gave voice to the mothers, the families, and the fans who continue to bury their loved ones long before their time. This songography of FBG Duck is more than music, more than memory. It is testimony. His life, his struggle, his art, and his death are reflections of the system and the streets that continue to take so many. As the O Block 6 now stand before sentencing, the world is forced to confront not only their fate, but the cycle that created it. Credit to Jaguar Wright for daring to speak what so many feared to say, because until we reckon with the truth she named and the lives we've already lost, the beat of hip-hop will always carry both rhythm and requiem. This has been the story of Carlton FBG Duck Weekly. His voice may be silenced, but his song lives on.
Hey, my heart, good to see you.
I'm a man for anything, so I gotta be strong. And I can't let them see
That one of his kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Catching us beating their ass. We was doing this shit for fun.
This is Dirt and them reenacting this death on stage.
That's disgusting.
And they're dumb. That's
disgusting.
That's what got them in jail.
Oh, wow.
As the gavel falls and the old Block 6 await their sentencing, we are reminded that behind every headline, behind every courtroom door, there is a family left to carry the weight. For Carlton FBG Duck Weekly, that weight rests on the shoulders of his mother, Lashina Weekly, known to the world as Mama Duck. Her strength is not just in surviving the unimaginable, but in speaking for the voiceless, fighting for justice, and refusing to let her son's name be forgotten. She embodies the pain, the perseverance, and the power of every mother who has buried a child to gun violence. And so, as we close the story of FBG Duck, we open a new one, not in tragedy, but in tribute. This next piece is dedicated to her, the woman who stood tall when the world tried to break her, the voice that carried her son's legacy, and the heart that keeps his spirit alive. This is the songography of Mama Duck.
In the city where the gun smoke clouds the skies, a mother rose up with tears in her eyes. Lashina Weekly, they call her Mama Duck. Through tragedy and pain, she never gave up. The mother be done. Yeah. From the south side streets where the struggle is real, she raised her children with love they could feel. Carlton Duck Weekly, her son with a dream, a voice of the people. His truth was supreme, but bullets stole moments. Her heart was torn. A mother left grieving, but a spirit reborn. Instead of silence, she lifted her voice for justice and healing. She made a choice. Mama Duck, she's still standing tall. Through the shadows of the night, she answers the call. No weapon formed can silence her cry. For every fallen child, she keeps hope alive. She turned her pain into power, her sorrow to fight. On interviews, on live streams, she brought truth to the light. Calling out the system, calling out the streets, demanding an end till justice repeats. A mother, a soldier, a queen with a crown. In memory of Duck, she holds her ground. They tried to break her, but she still believes that love is eternal, though a child may leave. Lashina Weekly, a mother, a fighter. The weight of loss made her spirit brighter. For every son taken, for every life cut, she carries their names. It's Mama Duck. From pain to purpose, her story's clear. She's the voice of mothers who still shed tears. Through Duck's legacy, her fight goes on. In the heart of Chicago, her strength is a song. Thank you, Mama Duck, for showing the world that God's strength and power is real in you. I can see God holding you up, salute.
Wow. Guys, wow. Guys, that was heavy.
That was very heavy.
I can't do a lot of this.
Auntie Leo, you did a great job.
I can't do a lot of the Chicago drill. There's so many of
No.
them.
Yeah.
There's so many of
Yep.
them. It's heavier than the old school.
It's like a hit list.
Yeah, looking at
You
those
guys
pictures.
see? You guys saw all the doves next to those.
Yeah, yeah.
And guess
Yep,
what?
and-
That was 5 years ago. A lot of those
Wow.
kids that are in those pics are also dead. They didn't have a dove.
Wow. That's too many. It's out of control.
Yeah, they were so young. I mean, little kids. I
Yeah.
mean, they look young. I mean, I don't know their
They
ages,
were.
but they look very young.
They were
Kids
young.
going to war. Yep.
They were young.
Senseless.
FBG
That's what I have to
doesn't.
say.
He didn't
But
get a chance.
this affect the music hard on them though. Everybody want to represent a lifestyle, and
Well, I don't know, Temple. This wasn't the song. It wasn't the rap. This was the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in this scenario, this was games. Yeah.
but the music was kind of an outlet for them.
The
I
music
would
was
say.
an outlet, but the origination, if you, I don't know if maybe I should have played more, but their fathers were gang members.
Right. It's generational. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
King Von was under 30. I don't even hate King Von. I still think that King Von was a product of his environment as well. I don't hate King Von for doing this or Dirk or none of them. All of them were a product of their environment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad.
For sure. Yeah, it's
Yes.
I think this is the saddest one you've done.
When I tell you this was heavy, when I tell you it took days,
Yeah.
I tell you I can go for months talking about Chicago drill a years.
Yeah.
I can. There's so many victims.
Hey, Auntie Leah, guess what?
What?
Chicago drill is in Australia.
Oh, I know. It's all over the world now.
Yeah. So I've got a little screenshot there of the current Australian.
I'll put it up.
There you go. They're from all over. 1-4 from Mount Druitt in Sydney. HP Boys from Melbourne, which is my state in Australia. No Money Enterprise in Logan City, Queensland. Temper, can you say that word there?
Which one?
Kahoo.
Cahooks?
Yeah, Cahooks. Yep. They're in Sydney. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of others. But so the difference over here, I mean, they're applying the same like blueprint, if you like, to the Chicago drill over here, because there's gang issues over here too. And it's cultural. So we don't have our laws for, firearms are different over here. So they sing about sickles and big knives in their songs. So and machetes. So we've got a big knife problem over here. Big one.
Right.
You've got people running around with enormous objects, sharp objects in the street. It's just
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know about any I don't know what the mortality rate is. I don't know if there's any. But they're trying. Like they're trying to replicate it.
Right.
In their songs. It's sad.
Yeah. I know what you mean, Nick. Like I said earlier, I've seen it over on my side as well. So it is, I mean, they do try to replicate it, but at the same time, the end result, the loss of so many young lives,
Yeah. Yeah, and we've got Australia has over 200 languages in it, from all the different nationalities. We are a big multicultural nation, and a lot of New Zealanders, a lot of Islanders come over here, and some of them are fighting with each other. It's all gang stuff. It's all male ego macho stuff. I'm going to put that out there. It's all war
But
stuff.
that was a dumb thing they did, though. I mean, I don't know, that was their calling card to say, well, yeah, we did it. But to post it on social media, I mean, to brag about it on social media, I mean,
And what's that?
Do you know? Do you know what? Yeah, and do you know what? I reckon they get paid to do it to get rid of them. I reckon that they're stupid enough. They go, we'll give you another 20 grand each. Here you go. Make a song about it. Go crazy. Do it on stage. Act it out.
Yep.
And because they know that that'll get rid of them.
Yep. Yep.
People need to wisen up.
Yeah. Because Dirk's in jail right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's come out that he backdoored King Von.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, you've got people over here, Maya. Okay.
there's so much going on in this drill, on this drill scene. Drill is not normal hip hop. Drill is hip hop on steroids.
Yeah.
It goes past the diss.
Mm-hmm.
It gets active in the streets.
Yep.
I can't do a lot of drill like back to back. So we're gonna go back to our old school. We're gonna do Young Noble. On the next segment of hip hop is a graveyard. I can't because this drill thing is so heavy. Oh my God, these kids, they never made it to adulthood. And then when they did make it to adults, they never made it to past young adults. They were still considered kids to me. In their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy.
Can't you do something uplifting in the middle?
I've tried to do that now. So but guys, I want you guys to know that I love y'all. I appreciate every time that you come back. And I'm hoping that some of the 12 I'm guessing that YouTube is not sending out notifications. That's the only thing I can think of because I got 12,000 followers. Why are they not here? They didn't.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. And you guys will be right behind me. I know that for a fact. So we will continue on this segment of Hip Hop is a Graveyard. Does not matter how much YouTube hates it. Does not matter how much YouTube suppresses us. The truth is the truth. Hip hop is a graveyard.
Yep, sure is.
I encourage you guys to join all of our channels.
Yes, please.
I encourage you to go watch all of our videos.
Yes, please.
We'll be back next week with our next segment of Hip Hop is a Graveyard. We will be talking about, I think Young Noble, but maybe even Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
I'm gonna pray about it, and I'll let you guys know in advance.
Radio.
Anybody else have anything to say?
Condolences for your cousin, Auntie Leah.
Thank you. Oh my God. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming back. Tell your friend, tell your auntie, tell your cousin, tell your niece, tell your nephew, your aunt, your granddaddy, your grandmama, your mother, your daddy, whoever, your sister, brother. Tell them all that we live. And hip hop is a graveyard, unfortunately. And I'm sorry that hip hop is a graveyard. And that I love you.
Amen.
So,
love you too, Auntie Leah.
Peace, guys. Until we meet again.
Peace.
Good night, everyone. Love you all.
Good
night.
Night night.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for coming. Please like, share, and subscribe. Come back again.